Hey everyone, welcome back to another Dice Throne talk. I know it's been a little bit. Michaela and I went to vacation and our destination was Yellowstone. If you haven't been there, I would highly recommend going. It was a fantastic time overall. A lot of hiking, we got quite a few steps in, not a lot of food. So if you're planning on going there, try to purchase some food because it's kind of hard to find some. A lot of places close down at 8 o'clock or even earlier than. So that's where Michaela and I have been. And while we were gone, we have seen that Dice Throne has announced their next Kickstarter. I'm sure you have been aware by this by now. If not, the new Kickstarter involves Marvel. Dice Throne and Roxley and the Dice Throne team, they have obtained the intellectual property of Marvel to use their characters, which is fantastic. And congratulations to Manny, Nate, Aaron, Gavin, everyone in the Dice Throne team and Roxley for this huge accomplishment. This is something that has been in the works since the inception of Dice Throne, really. On Facebook, if you haven't been already, get with the Dice Throne community Facebook page and the Dice Throne Facebook page, and there's a bunch of content and a bunch of people that are heavily involved with Dice Throne and love to see you on those social media platforms. On Facebook, though, Nate posted about the Dice Throne 5-year plan. And really, there's also stretch goals, you could say, beyond 5 years as well. And I'm going to refer to my iPad here. I took quite a few screenshots of different posts I want to talk about. This video overall is just to gather all the information that we know as of right now, the time of this recording. And we'll continue on. If there's any big information that comes out week by week, we'll continue putting that information out up to the Kickstarter opening day, which is October 25th. I have that in my calendar. October 25th is the launch date of Dice Throne Marvel. So going back to what Nate posted, Dice Throne created in August of 2016, and the 5-year plan concluding August 2021, so that's 5 years. Season 1 has been made. Season 2 has been made. Season 1 with its re-rolled as well. Solo and co-op expansion, Dice Throne Adventures. And now the 4th one, Marvel. Apparently this has been something that has been in the works since the inception of they wanted a big IP and they went go big or go home, really, is what they did. So again, congratulations on getting this fantastic IP. Marvel is nearly perfect for Dice Throne, if not, it's pretty much what Marvel needed for a game. And the reason why I say that is because there's many Marvel games out there, and some people do have that little bit of Marvel exhaustion in terms of a game being Marvel being skinned onto a game. Some games may include Marvel Villainous, United Marvel. You have Marvel Crisis Protocol, Marvel Legendary, the card deck building game. There's a Marvel Munchkins. There's a lot of Marvel games out there. So what does Dice Throne Marvel have to present to us, really, the consumers? Well, what Marvel has been struggling with is a couple different factors to put into all-in-one game. One of them is Marvel overall is family friendly. So you have to have a family friendly game. Crisis Protocol is a miniatures game, and that can be really difficult for spouses, loved ones, kids, whoever it may be, family, to really get into Marvel and buy that product because they don't want to build it, paint it. They don't want to play miniatures because it feels like D&D and they don't want to do D&D stuff. So that's a very niche market. Another one is ease of play. How easy is it to play? And so Marvel, Crisis Protocol, again, can be difficult to the newer player, but easy for newer, younger audience. You also have the ability in Dice Throne to go 1v1 matchup. You can do Iron Man versus Thor, Iron Man versus Loki. You have all these different heroes and characters that can battle out against each other. You can't really do that in too many other games. You do have, let's say, Marvel Champions, but that is a co-op in terms of you and your team going up against arch enemy. You do have Crisis Protocol as well, but then again, it's not also family friendly. So you also have that issue. Teardown setup, a whole lot easier with Dice Throne as well. And then you also have the ability with Dice Throne Adventures. So you can do 1v1 matchups, or you can go as a team, go through a portal crawl, and go and fight a villain. You could do Ultron, you could do Thanos, you could do any Marvel villain and put that as a fallen hero or whoever it may be, and go up and go against their minions because they have many minions. You could do like the Green Goblin even. There's a ton of lore that Dice Throne just fits into. So Dice Throne is family friendly. You can do 1v1 or co-op or solo. It's easy to play. Marvel has been looking for something that attracts all of that and can keep that Thor, can keep that battling it out, and it just encompasses so many people in one audience. Dice Throne, you could say, was made for Marvel. And that was something that I think that Nate and Manny were originally going into, is starting out with these fantasy characters, but keeping in mind that you can put this into, or Marvel can be put into this and work perfectly. I think it's, in terms of that and business aspect, it is a fantastic opportunity for Marvel to put their logo and put their characters into a game that can do so much and for little risk at the same time. Dice Throne team, it seems that they keep on expanding overall. Originally it was Nate and Manny. Then you added Gavin Brown into it all. You have Aaron, who deals with all the shipping stuff. You now have another person that actually helped out with Season 2 art with Manny. Nick, apologize, I don't remember your last name, but they are slowly expanding over and over again. So they are keeping on pace what they want to do, and really it's their game to choose what they want to do with it. Now they are having to listen to the audience, because the audience is the person that has what they need, the money. So they need to keep that in mind. However, at the same time, Marvel already has an established audience, has an established consumer. This is going to be fantastic overall. And a lot of people are worried about compatibility. Will it or will it not be compatible? And I think it will be compatible. The reason why, because Dice Throne is its own check and balance. It will not allow another character to power creep on another character. Now, some characters may be more powerful or do certain abilities, like let's say the Cursed Pirate, who doesn't have any upgrade cards in her deck and flips over. However, she also has a negative ability when she flips over that you take damage. There's going to be a lot of check and balances, a lot of gameplay testing and design by the Dice Throne team to make sure there isn't that power creep. That is why Dice Throne is so successful, is because any character really can defeat any character. Some may be more difficult than others, but you can defeat them. And it's also based on player skill, knowledge of the game, and all these other components. And really, at the end of the day, it's the person who wants to play their favorite character has an equal chance to a person who plays their least favorite character. So fantastic overall. Nate also posted steps 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. However, he did blot them out, so you cannot read them. Some people are treating it as, the 18th puzzle of, let's see if we can figure out any of these little lines that are sticking out of it, make a word to figure out what's coming up next. I think it'll be whatever they want it to be, but you can't figure enough out. However, number 7 is unblocked, and that is Dice Throne Digital. And that is something that the community has been asking for quite a while, and I'm not surprised that they're wanting to do this. Dice Throne Digital, especially in the age of COVID now, it's harder to get in-person gameplay, and so it has encouraged that digital platform even more so than before. They currently have Tabletop Simulator. It's very basic in terms of 6 characters. You get Portal Crawl and the Fallen Barbarian for Dice Throne Adventures. They wanted to expand on this. I'm not sure if they wanted to go with like a mobile version or maybe expand to Dice Throne Simulator and create put their entire game out there. I'd be more apt to Tabletop Simulator than mobile platform, just because it'll be a little easier to work with the system with cards and dice and maybe Dice Throne Adventures moving pieces around and status effect tokens and all this other stuff. But if they are able to do a successful version of Dice Throne Mobile, I may be interested in getting that as well. So that is it for what Nate has posted in terms of their stretch goals, and they are doing a fantastic job with it. Something that he also posted on September 29th on Facebook was help needed. We want to collect fan quotes for marketing purposes. Use the name and quotes. Consider a comment why you like Dice Throne. Can't use all the quotes, but of course we look forward to picking out our favorites. That to me was an automatic next Kickstarter's coming out. They are gathering marketing material, putting that on the website, so that when they launch, they can have all these consumers, players, have all of this comments about it. So I threw one down there. We'll see if it pops up on the Kickstarter or not. I think it would be pretty cool if it did. If not, that's fine. So it's going to be fantastic to see that Kickstarter finally launch overall. Something else that a lot of people have been upset with Dice Throne Marvel, and my personal opinion why I think a lot of people were upset or are upset is because, one, they may be having Marvel exhaustion like we talked about before. Everything seems to have a Marvel stamp on it now. There's been worry about, is there going to be a Dice Throne Season 3? And that has been a worry for me, because that is the lore that I have enjoyed and loved and recognize as Dice Throne. When I think Dice Throne, I think of those characters and what have you. And someone, Jeff Burton on Facebook, made a poll on Facebook asking which would you guys have chosen if you had a choice for what would come up next for Kickstarter. And 252 votes were for Season 3, and 125 votes for Marvel, and then 69 votes for Star Wars, and it continues down from there. Obviously, there was a big push for Season 3 overall, and everyone kind of expected it. And then all of a sudden, Dice Throne Marvel came out of left field, and no one really realized that that was a possibility. And so when I first watched the video and trailer for it, I was kind of awestruck and just kind of like, where did this come from? I was expecting Season 3. That was the rumor, as at best it could be, that that's what was coming out next. And then all of a sudden, Dice Throne Marvel's coming in here, and it's like, where did this come from? And a lot of people were expecting it. Now, Gavin Brown on BGG did say that they are going to do a Season 3. They will do that. Whether or not they'll go beyond that, I don't know. I think with the Dice Throne Adventures Legacy packs, They're pretty much almost forced to do an expansion for that to at least get some closure from it, which I would really appreciate as well. It's not that I hate Marvel. In fact, my wife loves the Marvel movies and shows, and we watched them all plenty of times. However, what my wife struggles with is any board game that has a mainstream background behind it. So board games involving Marvel, involving Star Wars, involving Lord of the Rings, anything like that, she struggles with playing it. She just does not enjoy it, which some people are like that. For me, we don't own Marvel Champions, but my friend Gars, they do, and I really enjoy it. And they are extremely excited for Dice Throne Adventures, Dice Throne Marvel. So it's one of those back and forth of what does a person feel comfortable playing and what do they enjoy. And Manny and Nate and Gavin, Aaron, they've all realized that this is not a game that's going to be for everyone. And that's fine, because even Gloomhaven, which is considered one of the greatest games created, arguably, not everyone enjoys it. It is what it is. They create content that they want to make, that they think will do well, and that they enjoy. I think that they have every right to do that and be proud of the product that they make. What has happened, however, is now it's opened up this can of worms of, now I want to see a Star Wars models of it or characters of it. I want to see Lord of the Rings or anime, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. It literally just opened up this can of worms in terms of, now we want to see all these other different stuff, and I'm afraid that that's all I'm going to see now on the social media sites is, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? It's, I'm going to struggle with that a little bit, because at the end of the day, for me, Dice Throne is those original characters, not Marvel. But I have confidence that Dice Throne Marvel is going to be fantastic overall. And the reason why I say that is because Manny has reposted this a couple times on Facebook and has kind of got caught in the comments. And this is what he says. It is not a reskin. So Barbarian is not going to reskin into Iron Man or reskin into the Hulk. The Hulk is going to be the Hulk. The Iron Man is going to be Iron Man. They're all going to be their own characters. They're not going to be reskinned from a previous one. Manny has done all the art with help from his friend Nick Malara. That's Nick Malara, who has helped with Season 2, which I didn't even realize, which is fantastic. So they are still producing their own content. They have designed the heroes. They have the ability to design it how they so choose. They also made the choice to do this, which means that as a Dice Throne community, I think we have loved and enjoyed this game so much. Excuse me. They deserve the backing from the community and this kind of choice, because I know personally that this is not going to be lowered content. They are not going to lower their content productive value at all, their customer service. They have not sold out to Marvel. They are still their own company. They're still making their own game. However, they are now getting their characters from a bigger resource. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many different characters, fantasy characters, that you can come up that it's your own characters and own lore and all this other stuff. There's so much that you can do by yourself. But if you can go into tap this bigger resource in terms of all of Marvel, Avengers, X-Men, all the villains, I mean, it's so expansive that they won't be able to do everything. So keep that in mind as we're going to go through and kind of predict what characters do you think we'll be seeing. Going back to Manny's post, we have no intent to stop making our own heroes in the future. Keep that in mind. No intent to stop that. meaning that we'll see Season 3, that's without a doubt. More than likely see Dice Throne Adventures expansion. We could see a Season 4. I could see a Season 4 and then be done with it. And honestly, I'd be pretty happy with that. I would feel like I would have a wide variety of characters to choose from, and I would feel that the game is complete. Now, if they want to do another expansion on top of Dice Throne Adventures, so 2 expansions, I would be perfectly fine with that too, and I would consider that a complete game, really. If they want to go beyond that, bring it on. But that's for me personally. I think that would be a really quality amount. Back to Manny's post, but realize we are a small team and can only do 1 release at a time, which is beyond true. It's okay that people don't prefer this. We get that. From the start, we knew that some versions would not be for everyone. We don't make games unless we want to. I've spent a long time working on these heroes and very proud of them. I won't be hurt if someone doesn't like them, with a smiley face. Which is very, very true overall. Manny, Nate, they take pride. If you heard their story and how they started and where Dice Throne came from, you would know that they take full-on pride for their product, and they will not make an inferior product in whatever they do. Which is why I have loved Dice Throne itself. It's not only for the game, but the community, the makers, the customer support, the quality of the games. They care about their games. It's not just a money grab. So keep that in mind. It's not a money grab. It is they're looking to expand and really follow their dreams. That is what they want to do. And that's fantastic overall. So congratulations again on getting this IP. I think so realize that we are a small team, can only do 1 release at a time. This was something else that I'm kind of fearful of or worried about, is because if they're working on Dice Throne Marvel, that means they're not working on Dice Throne Season 3 or Season 4 or expansion. They're not working on their original lore. They're again working on Marvel. So they're going to have to balance and really work forward ahead in terms of producing the content that they want to do. They are going to do a 8 character pack for this Dice Throne Marvel Kickstarter. The reason why I say that is because someone asked how many characters are there going to be, and Manny made the comment of the normal amount. Well, the normal amount is 8 characters. There was a post made, I don't know the person's name, but on Facebook, asking what characters we would like to see in the Marvel version. And there's quite a few of them in there. A couple top ones, though, is Deadpool, Venom, and then you also have Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Wolverine, Iron Man, the Hulk, and Loki. Again, I want to go back to the family version. I don't think they're going to start off their first 8 characters with an anti-hero, with a hero that encourages gore in a Marvel standpoint. Spider-Man is a fantastic one to choose because it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, family friendly. It works. Spider-Man works. Iron Man also works. Thor works. You could see the Hulk as a lower complexity character. I kind of thought on the would it be a flip board, so you have Dr. Banner on one and the Hulk on the other. I think it'd be interesting. The problem is Dr. Banner doesn't really fight as Dr. Banner. He's just a scientist. So I think that'll just be a Hulk, low complexity on that. You're going to see a lot of your big characters on it. Marvel Avengers, I think, is what you're going to see. You may see Hawkeye. You may see Thor. I think Doctor Strange is a pretty good one to use as well. The reason why I say that is because Doctor Strange movies are coming out. Spider-Man movies are coming out. So I think there's going to be some of that as well. I think Shang-Chi, I think that one is newer in our minds, but I don't think it has laid the foundation yet for that hero so far. So I think when we're hoping for characters and people are looking for all these sort of characters and heroes, some of them may not be as prevalent as others. So I think we need to keep that in mind. My guess is going to be more heroes that we've seen, that we know, that we grew up with, that everyone knows, because that is less risk for the Dice Throne creation to get that market out there, and then they can expand on that. I think Dice Throne Adventures is a fantastic medium in terms of going out and fighting villains. There's tons of villains out there. It's just a matter of which one do you want to choose and which characters you want to go with. So I think based on the characters that are chosen for this Kickstarter, that will then tell us the kind of villains we will fight in Dice Throne Adventures. I'm strongly opinionated that they will create that. I think Dice Throne is perfect for Marvel overall. So overall, I think that is all that we have, that I have to talk about. I just want to make sure, Jonathan HT on the Dice Throne Discord channel, if you haven't already, get on that as well. He made the comment, it's the Roxley design team, Manny, Nate, Gavin, Aaron, and others. Manny's art as well. Manny is doing the art. We had creative control over creative control to make our dream come true, meaning that Marvel went, hey, we'll give you the ability to use the characters, you do you create your game, and because really they know how to balance it, they know how to create it, they know what to look for, not to look for. I think it's going to be great overall. It's really fantastic to know that Marvel doesn't have their fingers in it too much. It's good to know that appears to be that they just went, here's our access to get into our characters. Now they may have gone, you can only use these ones right now. I don't know the contract. I'm an outsider looking in. But again, this video is merely to put out all the information that's out there right now, figure out what is accurate information, what the creators, the Dice Throne community is putting out there, and trying to consolidate it all in one. I look forward to more videos about this. Probably won't be as long. This is about 30 minutes. So hopefully it'll be a little shorter ones. Again, congratulations. Look forward to it, and keep rolling sixes. We'll see you.